As I stepped into the Pomorski University in Słupsk, I was filled with a sense of excitement and hope. I had dreamed of studying here for years, and finally I was going to make it a reality. But little did I know my experience was going to be a never-ending nightmare. The moment I started attending classes, I realized that something was terribly wrong. The food in the cafeteria was, quite frankly, inedible. It was as if they were serving us students leftover scraps from a dumpster. The smell of stale bread and congealed fat wafted through the air, making my stomach turn. I would often find myself going hungry, rather than forcing myself to eat the abomination they called food. And don't even get me started on the taste. It was like someone had poured a can of sour milk into my mouth. But it wasn't just the food. The service was abysmal. The staff seemed to be perpetually annoyed, as if we students were an inconvenience to their day. They would ignore us, or worse, snap at us, when we dared to ask for something as simple as a glass of water. It was as if they were doing us a favor by serving us, and we should be eternally grateful for their benevolence. And then there was the academia. The professors were, for the most part, uninterested in teaching. They would drone on and on, spewing out irrelevant facts and figures without any attempt to engage us or encourage discussion. It was like they were reading from a devoid of passion or enthusiasm. I would often find myself dozing off in class, not because I was tired, but because the lectures were so mind-numbingly dull. But what really took the cake was the administration's complete disregard for student welfare. They seemed to be more interested in padding their own pockets than in providing us with a decent education. The dean would often make promises he had no intention of keeping, and when we would call him out on it, he would feign ignorance or blame someone else. It was like he thought we were stupid, that we wouldn't notice the blatant lies and deceit. And don't even get me started on the facilities. The classrooms were cramped and dirty, with broken chairs and outdated equipment. It was like they were trying to create an environment that was conducive to failure. The library was a joke, with books that were decades old and a cataloging system that was non-existent. As I struggled through each day, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of sadness and loss. I had entrusted this institution with my education, and they had failed me miserably. It was like they were sucking the life out of me, leaving me a hollow shell of what I once was. I remember one particular incident that really drove home the point. I had been working on a project for weeks, pouring my heart and soul into it. But when I went to submit it, I realized that the deadline had been changed, without anyone bothering to inform us. I was devastated, all my hard work down the drain. And when I tried to appeal to the professor, he just shrugged it off, telling me that I should have checked the website more often. It was like they were actively trying to sabotage us. As the semesters dragged on, I found myself becoming increasingly disillusioned. I felt like I was stuck in some sort of nightmare from which I couldn't wake up. The university had become a constant reminder of my own failures and inadequacies. I began to question my own abilities, wondering if I was good enough, smart enough. It was then that I realized businesses near Pomorski University in Słupsk, they can be tricky sometimes, like you think you are safe but then something happens. Like this one charity shop, Fundakcja Piarzista, it was robbed in August 2023. 2 people came in acting like customers, but they were thieves. The man asked for a leather jacket from the back, and while the worker was helping him, the woman stole a bag full of money hidden under the counter. Over 5,000 złotych gone just like that. The man was bald, wearing a pink shirt, and the woman had blonde hair and these sandals with bows. Can you believe it? They probably walked out like nothing happened, and the shop workers must have felt so stupid after. The thieves, they probably spent the money fast, but police might have caught them later, who knows. Then there was this grocery store near Pomorski University in Słupsk, where the cashier was stealing from customers. A 27-year-old woman, she would take your money, not give you a receipt, and then cancel part of the transaction after you left. She stole over 14,000 złotych like this. She had done it before in other places too, over 50 times. How greedy can someone be? Tourists coming here for 2 weeks, they would not even notice, right? They pay, walk away, and never know they were scammed. But she got caught, and now she could go to prison for 8 years. Good. And then, near Pomorski University in Słupsk, there was this toy store where a 21-year-old guy stole a box of building blocks worth 300 złotych. He was just walking around, acting normal, but the cameras saw him. Security probably watched him take it, and then they stopped him outside. Stupid, right? Stealing toys, what was he thinking? He must have been so embarrassed when they caught him. And then 2 people, not even from Słupsk, came here just to steal. A 19-year-old girl and a 20-year-old guy. They took phones, small things from stores, cosmetics, whatever they could grab. Tourists would not expect this, right? They think they're just shopping, but people like this are watching, waiting to take things. They probably thought they were smart, but stores have cameras. They always get caught.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed travelers, gather around as we embark on a journey through the businesses nestled near the esteemed Pomorski University in Słupsk. This isn't just a tour, it's an exploration of what lies beyond the university gates, a tale of experiences that will guide you through the labyrinth of local commerce. As we set our sights on the shopping and entertainment center Janter, one can't help but feel a sense of anticipation. However, it seems the venue has a knack for turning anticipation into frustration. Picture this: a shopping haven where dogs are persona non grata, a place where the security blanket of a review is met with a resounding yai, and where the concept of customer service seems to have taken an extended vacation. The tales from Janter are as varied as they are disheartening. A child's innocent exploration among the clothing racks is met with the icy glare of disdain from an employee whose customer service skills have apparently taken a permanent sabbatical. And let's not forget the bewildering encounter with an overzealous security guard who seems to have missed the memo on common decency and the art of pleasant conversation. As we stroll through the corridors of Janter, we find ourselves serenaded by the chorus of the disenchanted. There's the poor soul who, after a brief rendezvous with a pothole, is left with a vehicle in distress and a customer service experience that's colder than the Siberian winter. And who could overlook the fashion faux pas, where the purchase of a simple pair of jeans is overshadowed by the frosty demeanor of a salesperson who seems to have forgotten the golden rule: the customer is king. But fear not, for Janter is not alone in its quest to test the patience of mere mortals. Let us now direct our attention to Well Fitness, a place where the quest for health meets the frustration of exclusivity. Here, fitness enthusiasts are met with a cold shower of discrimination, as membership cards are treated with the same level of contempt as expired coupons at a grocery store. The echoes of discontent bounce off the walls of Well Fitness, where cleanliness seems to be an afterthought and the promise of a refreshing shower is as elusive as a mirage in the desert. The equipment may be state-of-the-art, but the experience is far from polished, leaving one to ponder whether the pursuit of wellness is truly worth the emotional turmoil. As our journey continues, we find ourselves seated at the table of Biblos Meza House Restauracja Libanska. The promise of an exotic culinary adventure quickly turns into a gastronomic mystery, where the only certainty is the lingering disappointment. The shawarma, rather than being a celebration of Middle Eastern flavors, seems to have taken a detour through a Chinese wok, much to the chagrin of those seeking authenticity. The stories from Biblos are a tapestry of culinary woes. There's the tale of the eagerly anticipated baklava that arrives not with a whisper of the Mediterranean but with the chill of the North Sea. And let us not forget the dramatic saga of the lentil soup, whose color defies both nature and expectation, leaving diners scratching their heads in bewilderment. But wait, there's more. Club 13 beckons with the siren call of nightlife, only to dash the hopes of revelers against the rocks of exclusion. Here, the bouncers stand as gatekeepers to a world where the music may be loud, but the welcome is muted. The club's doors may swing open for some, but for others they remain as closed as a book of secrets. And finally, we arrive at Bistur Gym Fitness Club, where the dream of physical perfection is met with the reality of overcrowding and a clock that ticks faster than a metronome on double espresso. The gym may boast an array of equipment, but it's the intangibles, like time to actually use the machines, that seem to be in short supply. So, dear travelers, as you navigate the waters of commerce near Pomorski University, approach with caution.
The businesses here may promise much, but as we've seen, they can sometimes leave you feeling like you've been on an emotional roller coaster that forgot to make the climb.